Hello and welcome to configuration of ACLs in Module 5. So don't forget to take the notes starting with TCP establish extended ACL. All right, and submit the notes, of course, when we're all done. All right, so this is where we left off. So here's the establish command. Here's what's really good about the establish command, especially for TCP protocol. This will allow only that if you are inside the LAN and you initiated a connection to the outside world, the router is going to be a stateful router now with the establish command. And when you come back, they're going to look to see if you initiated the connection from the inside. If you did, they'll allow the data back in. If not, then you are blocked. So only people from inside the LAN will be able to go out and come back in. If a connection is established from the outside, will be blocked. How can we do that? By the way, this is only done with TCP establish. All right, so let's assume your serial 000 is connected to the outside world, to the internet. This is where we're going to do it on the router, and we're going to place an access list on the out and the in of the serial 000. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to allow browsing for everybody. For example, we're going to use browsing, the port 80 and 443. HTTP is port 80 and HTTPS is 443. So we're going to create an access list called browsing, okay, a named access list, and we're going to permit this network going anywhere in the world doing HTTP. And we're also going to, the second statement, we're going to allow them to do HTTPS, right? So I'm going to exit, and I'm going to go to the serial port, and I'm going to say IP access browsing out. So that's easy enough, right? So that's the first statement. I'm going to let them go out. Now, when I come back, I type exit, I'm going to create another access list, I'm going to create another access list called established, just the name. And then I'm going to say, okay, permit TCP. And now I'm thinking about people that are coming back into the router from outside, into the serial, right? So I'm going to say anybody that's coming in, right, going to these networks, right, the network 192.168.10.0/24, that's the wild card, the 3 zeros with 255, all right, and you don't need this word any. Oops. I'm sorry. So this any is not needed. So permit TCP, anybody going to this network, established. Established means, okay, I'm not going to permit unless the connection was established from the inside, right? Because the router, when you leave, will keep track of all the flags, the TCP flags, to see if you are left. So if you are not established, you will not be permitted. So this network, this access list will be on the serial interface, coming in, right? So you let them go out doing HTTP and HTTPS. And when you go to the serial port and you place this access list on the end, anybody coming from outside has to be established. In other words, has to come out of here. Which means the router must have the TCP IP flags that you did leave the router, right? That's what established mean. So this is good. This will prevent a lot of denial of service attacks, if you believe it or not, right? Because most denial of service attacks happens from the outside, initiated from the outside, and the established will block them, right? Here's some rules to remember. Number one, there's always an implicit deny at the end of each access list. So therefore, if you have only deny statements in your access list, everybody's going to be denied, right? Once there's a match, if you go on each statement in the access list, once there's a match, either permit or denied, the ACL will stop matching, and then we'll take act. They'll either permit or deny, and everything else will will not be matched. Anything underneath that match statement. Denied or permit, you want to deny specific hosts first, then you want to deny generalized later on. So for example, if you want to deny a specific host in a subnet, you don't say permit the subnet, then deny the host, right? Because what's going to happen is if you permit the subnet and the host is in that subnet, he's permitted already. Even if you try to deny him on the next statement, that's not going to happen because the second statement is not going to be executed. What you should do is, deny the host first, then permit the subnet, right? Use a text editor. It is always best to open up your notepad, type all your commands for access list, and when you're done, copy, go to the config file, type config T and paste it, and all the commands will be there. Although you could, and that's what we'll do in class, for example, is to go to the router and type all the commands. And as soon as you're doing that, because they're going directly to the running config, it's going to take action immediately. So if somebody is accessing something and you denied them, they're going to be denied immediately. So it is best to do the access list on a text editor and also test it out before you put it into production. To insert a statement in a numbered access list. So let's say you wanted to add another statement somewhere in a numbered access list. You have to rewrite the whole access list from scratch. But with a named access list, you can insert them any way you want, right? So it's much easier that way. That's another advantage of a named access list. All right, here are the commands that you should use to help you troubleshoot or verify ACLs. Show run with the pipe section access list. That's going to display the access list and all of its statements. If you want to delete an access list, you type no access list and you put in the number or the name. Show access lists. That's going to display all the access lists and the statements and some statistics. What I'm trying to say here is how many hits, how many matches you got, right? We'll also display that as well. IP access list extended, no email. And if you type this is how you would insert a line into a named access list. So you go into the named access list and then you write in 25 and you can insert that statement between number 20 and 30. So when you type show access list and the name, you'll see each statement is numbered 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And let's say, oh, you know what? I want to put another statement between 20 and 30. So this is what you do. You go type in IP access list extended, no email, for example. And then you'll write the number between 20 and 25, 20 and 30. And then you can write your statement. All right. Show IP interface G0/0. This will also verify the ACL on an interface and the direction in which it was applied. All right. So, okay. This is it for this video. So we're going to try to do a packet tracer where we can place do some exercise on how to apply ACLs. All right, so write everything that I asked you to write up and submit them, and I'll see you on the next video.